So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Welcome back to the Light Institute. It's your boy K.Sloan here. Dolo today. This is the segment of the Be a Light podcast where I break down different ideas as far as unlocking the light inside of us individually, being able to take ourselves to the highest level, whether that be through our mindset development, through our career ascension education, or through our ability to become a leader, to become someone that can lead our families, lead our communities, and lead our lives. Because at the end of the day, today's day and age is short of solid leaders, and great leaders are necessary. Move this out of there. Yeah. Got the sweaters in the picture. Got to move those out the way. So pretty much let's get straight into it. So I really wanted to break down a couple of ideas. And when you're talking about light, man, I believe that light is one of those things that, you know, everybody knows that there's never really an absence of light. It's always on a different plane. It's like you have a different ability to access light. When you talk about, you know, metaphysics, so you talk about the reality of like what light is. Like light is always present, even in the dark. There is light. It's just the ability to see light is different. You know, our eyes aren't necessarily able to adjust to see the light at every single dimension or every single level. Wherever we are, you're not able to see the light, but there's always a certain amount of light that's always present. But when we talk about like becoming a light personally, right? I'm gonna share my screen for you guys here so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. All right. So in Matthew 6:22, there's a quote, right? There's a quote, and I'm gonna share this. If it stops player hating on me, boom, boom, boom. All right. So there's a quote, and this quote, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this right here. And it says, the eye is the lamp of the body. So then if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light, right? So the eye is the lamp of the body. So then if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. And when talking about that, let's break that down, man. You know, talking about the eye being a lamp of the body, to me, that means the visions, right? The visions that we have in our missions in life, like we have to be clear so that we can let our light illuminate us. Like they can be able it can be able to show who we are and the better sides of ourselves. And a lot of times it's because when your eyes not clear, your light's diminished, right? When your eyes are not clear, when your mind's eye is not clear, we talk about the visions that we have for our life, for our families, for our profession, for our anything that we are part of, for our kids, for our goals. A lot of times we get lost in the fact that there's so many distractions that we have at our disposal now. It's like you can be distracted at every single corner of your lifestyle. You could be distracted when you wake up in the morning by your phone. As soon as you wake up in the morning, if you set an alarm on your phone, you're distracted by the opportunity to go onto your TikTok and watch a video. You could be distracted when you go into the job and then you having a short coffee break, which turns into a 15, 20-minute conversation, which could be enriching or it could be distracted because of the interaction and where it's tending to take you. You could be distracted by the radio. You could be distracted by, you know, the frequencies that you receive when you go out in this world and you interact with people that are just concerned with, you know, taking their minds away from reality. They just concerned with maybe the football scores, or maybe they're concerned with the music that's going on in today's day and age. You can be distracted by so many things, but that singleness of mind, that singleness of vision is what allows us to unlock our light. So you have to find a way to limit the distractions within your life. And the ways you limit your distractions is by increasing your intentions. So you have to go to your intentions and say, what do I intend to do in every single moment? Every single day, you have to plan it out. So you have to really, when you start your day, set your intention for your day. And as you set your intention for your day, then you can set your intention for the segments of your day and set the intentions for the dimensions of who you are as a person, whether you be a mother, whether you be a father. Set your intentions on how you'll do that today. If you're a trash man or you are a doctor, you set your intentions on how you're going to carry out that job. Whether you are an artist or you are, whatever it may be, you set your intentions for that part of you, right? Because we all have multiple parts of us, but you set your intentions so that the distractions don't take dominance over what's going on in your life in regards to why you started what you started, right? So I really want to kind of dive into that intentional part of things and let us get to the part where we can say, okay, what's my value, right? Because you guys, like myself, we have value. So when we're looking at this right here, I have cost versus value, right? So this is big. One more time, cost versus value. What's my value versus what's my cost? Now, when I'm saying what's cost versus value, they say that, the people that tend to have everything they want in this world, and they tend to move the needle forward for our society, and they tend to change the paradigm of people's mindsets and things like that. They're value thinkers versus cost thinkers. Cost thinkers are the people that just consume everything else the value thinkers create. So the value thinkers see themselves as valuable, and the cost thinkers think about all the costs of everything and how much they cost in regards to what jobs they work, how much they make, what's getting training going to cost me? Is training going to cost me $250 a month? I'm not really interested in doing training right now because I ain't got the money. Or is getting some education to teach myself how to do a certain skill that could change my life forever, is that going to cost me $999 a month or for a year? Can't pay that right now because that cost is too much for me. The money's too much, but value thinkers don't see things like that. Value thinkers see the value, because when you look at value, value can be unlimited. I'm gonna repeat that. Value can be unlimited. So if you're looking for keys to expansion, you have to look at the value of yourself first before you can see the value in other things. So you have to see yourself as valuable and conduct business as such. So whenever you're talking about dealing with a relationship, and you go into a relationship with somebody else and you immediately start with value. I provide value. I am valuable in this way. Then you force the opposite entity, the opposite person, to match that value, right? In regards to how you see yourself, you set the expectations on that relationship in regards to what your value is. And if they cannot match that value, then they have to keep it moving. Y'all pass like ships in the night. But if you don't set that expectation, then what you do is you allow the cost, right, to take dominance over the relationship. So maybe it be, you can be bought by presence, you can be bought by time, you can be bought by whatever it is. Like, it could compromise who you are in the relationship, because you can be bought, you can be priced out, right? You can be rented essentially. Like somebody or something can own you, and you will idolize what it is they give you because you haven't set the parameters with your value. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm hoping that I'm clearly, eloquently letting you guys know what I'm trying to say, because if not, please let me know in a message or something, because this is very critical in regards to seeing yourself as great and seeing yourself as average. People that get lost and stuck in a rut, a lot of times they struggle with this idea because they allow themselves to be bought. You can't just be bought by money, guys. There's other ways you can be bought. You can't allow people and things to buy you. You have to set the parameters on your value. And when you start to see things as valuable versus the cost of things, then your life will change and go to the next level. So also, there's a different concept that I want to dive into as far as the keys to expansion. And let me share my screen on that one again, back to the my points. So you got balance versus focus. I heard this concept today and I loved it. It was beautiful. Balance versus focus. So you're talking about balance, right? We tend to get into spaces where, like, us as hard workers. I know a lot of you guys are hard workers like myself. I don't think you have a shortage in people that really believe in the value of hard work nowadays. I do see people going hard. Like, there's still people that don't give it, 110% every day. But then you see people that are literally giving it 85 to 90. I see it all the time and I applaud it. I think it's amazing. But the thing is, right, when you're talking about balance versus focus, balance is everything being equal, right? And I've heard Myron Golden, he's an amazing entrepreneurial coach. He was talking about how You never have anything in life that's extreme and completely balanced, right? Nothing in life is completely balanced. Everything is tipping the scale either way. Everything is tipping the scale either way. And to be truly balanced is only short term, and it's a season forward. You got to understand where you at in your life and when does the scale need to tip in each way that it needs to tip in, right? So let's say you're talking about the original conversation of intention and where we say that we want to go, because intention is more of the things that send us towards our destination, towards our goal, and those things that are pushing us that way, right? So there's different things in regards to intention that we can do throughout our days, throughout our lives, throughout our years of being on this planet that will push us towards where we want to go. But then the opposite of intention is going to be distraction. And distraction is anything else taking you away from where it is you want to go. So everything that's taking you away from where you want to go is a distraction. Now, the idea that we have most times is that if we have intention, but we give in enough healthy distraction, then we give balance, right? And the fact that people say, okay, well, Carrie, distraction is good for you, right? You could think that distraction is good for you, and it could be good for you because you may need a break from, you know, the hard charging lifestyle you live, or maybe the lifestyle of just going towards one direction. Maybe you need to switch it up to be able to keep things fresh, things like that. That's great. But you have to understand, as much as you distract yourself, then you take yourself off that path. And when you take yourself off that path, you have to say, is this more important than where I want to be 10 years from now? Right? Is this smoothie more important than my goal of losing 15 pounds in the next 3 months? Right? You have to be able to weigh those things. And then when you can't weigh those things effectively, then that's when you see people that, again, get stuck in ruts. They wonder, why things keep happening to me? Why can't I make my dreams become a reality? Why do I see everybody else getting the things they want and I'm the one that's not getting what I want? It's because you're struggling right now with weighing your distractions against your goals. Because your goals are what's going to drive your intentions every single day, and they'll keep you on that path, versus your distractions, which, okay, you distract yourself here and there, but a lot of times what I've learned in my life is once you start distracting yourself, it gets easier and easier to do so. It gets easier and easier to do so. Once you make distraction and you schedule in distractions because you need balance for the sake of balance, then you start to figure out that you will make yourself lazier as a person because you're not bringing in enough of that intentional effort, and you keep, for the sake of balance, just taking out opportunities for yourself because it's time to take a break, right? Just because you slated a break in your day doesn't mean you have to take that break. Maybe you're working on something that needs to get done right now. Get it done, tilt the scale. Because when you tilt the scale in your favor, then chances are gonna go up that you make it happen, and then you can take the break once the job is done. Kobe Bryant said it all the time. I don't finish when I'm tired, I finish when it's done. I don't finish when I'm tired. I finish when it's done. When it's done, I'm done. And that's it. Now I deserve my break. I work for my break versus taking a break because it's time to take a break. Oh, it's 12:52. Time to take a break. Like, nah, go ahead, get that job done, because you don't know what's going to happen at 1 o'clock. You don't know what's going to happen at 2 o'clock. Maybe things might change. And now you miss that opportunity because you keep trying to, for the sake of balance, trying to take these breaks that are unwarranted. Quite frankly, everybody's not deserving and earning their breaks. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that, man. It's very important to have balance at some point. But, you know, as he was describing in that video I watched, it was like talking about how pretty much you got to understand it's a season. You got to understand it's a season. And then going into this right here, you got, man, this is a beautiful one right here, beautiful concept. Season of soil, right? Season of soil. So when talking about season of soil, there's this old adage, right? There's this old adage, and it's like, well, you got the farmer and you got the soil, right? The farmer and the soil have a conversation, and the soil will tell the farmer, don't tell me about what you want. Just bring me your seed, right? When it's time to do the harvesting and all that, the farmer can't just show up and just think that all his vegetables are going to be there and he's going to be able to harvest and have a beautiful spread for his family and be able to serve and all that. It's not going to happen if he doesn't bring the seed, right? The soil doesn't care. The soil is not a human. The soil needs the seed. What parts of your life are you not providing the seed, right? What parts of your life are you assuming that, okay, well, this is soil, and I deserve to have the vegetables that I want. I deserve to get the harvest I want because I'm a great person. No, that's not how it works. Just because you're a great person does not exclude you from the work that it takes. You have to put the work in to get the results that you want. It doesn't matter that you do everything else right. If you can't produce, you're not producing. You're not bringing the seed. You didn't complete the day, have the statistics that say I did what I said I was going to do, and you didn't take it and put it in the bank. If you don't make the deposits in the bank, you're not going to be able to pull out. You can't make those withdrawals. You don't have the money, right? You haven't done that yet. You can't say that, okay, I'm raising a strong young man in this community because you ain't raised him. Your son doesn't really know you like that, right? Your son doesn't know your ideals. Your son doesn't have your values because you didn't impart those things into him. Or maybe the same thing, maybe it's not your son. Maybe you looking at, individuals in your community and you have things to say about these people, but you didn't do anything to build these people up. You just have the problems. You are a skilled problem identifier, but you haven't become a skilled solution identifier. You haven't found ways to solve these problems. And the thing is, when you don't find ways to solve problems, when you don't find ways to build entities, when you don't find ways to plant seeds, and you are a problem identifier, you're an excellent problem identifier, then you are a part of the problem. You are a part of the same problem that you out here ranting and raving about. So you have to be leery of people that constantly bring problems up to the group. They constantly complaining about things, and they don't really do much in regards to the solution. They just want to always identify it. And they say, if I had the resources, I would do this. Or if I was the person in charge, I would have done this. Well, what's stopping you from playing your role in fixing that issue? That's the real question. It's like, why are you sitting here talking to me about it? You got all the answers, but you haven't done anything about it. You one of the worst ones. You are one of the people that's perpetuating the issue. So when we're talking about cultivating that light, it's all about singleness of mind, of thought, right? Of heart. When you got singleness of mind, singleness of heart, and you're not divided against oneself, then now what that says is, when you've identified the problem, the singleness of mind and heart says, I'm a part of the problem, right? Immediately you say, I have a role in this. How can I fix this, right? I feel this problem. What am I going to do today to make sure I can take a practical step in healing, right? Instead of hurting. These are things we have to figure out. These are the ways that life is made better for everybody involved, including yourself. A rising tide lifts all boats. Stop finding the problems all the time and look for the solutions. And when you identify somebody trying to put in a solution, this is big. When you identify somebody trying to put in a solution, don't take all your effort and try to find a fault in the solution givers, right? Why don't you find a way to alter it if you think it's something that can be fixed, instead of sitting up there and talking about, oh, look at her trying to do the right thing again, but she ain't even doing that right. Look at her shoes. Her shoes ain't even looking like they matching her dress. Or like, oh, he think he confident, he cocky, and he's arrogant, and he want to be like, no, y'all worry about the wrong stuff. You need to worry about how can we help this person or these entities make the solution more effective. Like, let's continue to add, let's be a collective unit and build with that solution, right? But that's the problem, right? The problem is we are great problem finders, but we're not great problem solvers yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, and then my final thought that I wanted to get on is the three most important components for expansion, which is really going to break down three that I want to kind of show y'all. So then I'm gonna hit you first with diligence. That's number one. That's number one. So diligence, being diligent in how you do things, is pretty much like, as you start to make things happen for yourself, you start to see things happen, and you say, oh my goodness, I have had success here. Today, I feel like I did what I said I was going to do today. I set my intentions. I didn't get thwarted by distractions. The opposition did not win today. I did great. And then the next day, it doesn't work out the same way, right? The next day, the things that you had going the day before, it's like the opposite happens, and you almost feel like you under, you are under your drive. Like your drive is up here, and you under there. Like, man, how am I gonna get back to that spot? How am I going to be back in a better place where I believe in myself again? How am I going to get motivated again? You gotta stay diligent, y'all. Diligence, motivation, drive, effort. It's all gonna waver, right? You always gonna have opposition to when you trying to create something great, when you're trying to step into a new space, when you're trying to get into a new part of your life, when you're trying to really take your life to the next level, you will be met with opposition. And if you're not met with opposition, then your goal is too small. So once you get met with opposition, you have to be diligent and you have to fight through it. You got to say that, like, tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to expect the same thing from today, that are not even the same thing from today. I'm going to expect better from my next day than I expected from the last day, because I'm better today. I refuse to come into my next day. Excuse me. I refuse to come into my next day expecting the same things from the last day. I'm going to be better. I'm going to do better, right? And if I don't do better, then it's about to be so much effort that went into work that didn't work out, that I'm going to have a clear picture of what was not working out. Like, I have to have a clear picture so then the day after that, I can do better than the day before. Like, I can't get stuck in a rut, because I have to continue to put in action. I have to continue to put in effort. I have to continue to put that money in the bank. I have to. I can't stop, because once I stop, then I skew the data. Now that singleness of mind, the way we unlock our light, the oneness of the heart, is no longer there, because you have now confused yourself. You've lost data and you have holes, right? You have holes in that objective you said you had. You keep stopping, and now you have these pockets of emptiness that you don't have any data for. But people that do great in life, guys, they have data all over the place because they're so diligent, right? They're so diligent. We got to make sure that we stay diligent in every aspect of our life, because that's a very important component as it pertains to our success. Real quick, the dictionary definition of diligent is having or showing care and consciousness in one's work or duties. Be diligent, care about it. That's it, care about it. See it as important, because there's no reason why you would have came up with this goal if you didn't think it was important, right? So then the second part of this right here, this is a big one. Consistency. Consistency. You won't have a chance if you are at a lower talent level, at a lower knowledge level, at a lower experience level, if you're not consistent, okay? Everybody starts out at one of those low levels, right? We all start out either low talent, low knowledge, low experience. So we have to be consistent. And I'll even add to that, you got to be early with it. So you can't show up late and be inconsistent and think that the things you want in your life is going to work out. You can't show up and just, okay, I'm here, like it's time to make things happen, and you did no forethought to the situation that you came into. You came into this elaborate dream, right, that you have in your mind. You have a vision, like you've done all the work, you set intentions, and then you show up late, and you don't keep coming back over and over again and beating that hammer on your craft. You're not going to have a chance, because there's people out here that's talented, that's gifted, they got the knowledge, they got the experience, and they go to work. You know what I'm saying? They go to work. They consistent. They do it every single day. Rain, sleet, or snow, they do it every single day. Are you that type of person? And if not, then it's okay. Everything else is okay. It's okay not to have knowledge, all that other stuff. It's cool. Talent, all that, it's cool. But you got to be consistent, and you got to be quicker. Right? And if you need to hold space, hold space. But the one thing you can't do is you can't stop. You cannot stop moving. 1% every day. 1% every day. 1% every day. Consistency is a hallmark of a champion. And the only way you can truly be consistent is, once again, you have to have a singleness of mind and heart. You got to have a singleness of mind and heart. So you need to figure out, how do I get off the fence? Right? How do I get off the fence? But I'm going to tell you, somebody's probably still thinking, like, I can't get off the fence right now. So the way you really get off the fence, this is how you got the fence, folks. This is how you got the fence, folks. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, because that's all you need right there. Appreciation and gratefulness. That's how you got the fence, folks. You want to get off that fence and you want to stop having those holes in your production. You want to stop doing things to your loved ones that's hurting them. You want to stop breaking yourself down, giving yourself negative feedback, being your own worst enemy. You got to start being grateful, and you got to start being appreciative of what you have. At the smallest, minute level, there's something you could be appreciative of in every single moment of every single day. Breath, life, peace, opportunities. These are things that every single person on this planet gets. Every single day they spend above ground as a human being living a human experience. The gratefulness and appreciation will allow you to expand what you receive. Some people receive so many different opportunities and they do pretty well in life. But the problem lies in the fact that when they receive these things, they can't expand these things, and they do exactly what other people have done because they base the success level of where they are, or they base the value, right, of what they have versus what's going on in the world and how other things are evaluated. And that's not how you do that. You have to see things as they are the best possible thing that you could have ever received because you received it. It has nothing to do with how everybody else receives their gifts and their opportunities and their families and their loved ones and their wives and their husbands and their kids. It has nothing to do with that. It only has something to do with how you look at that and your appreciation level for what you have, because that's what cultivates what you have. It's not about the outside entities and the measuring sticks that we put on our things based on society. That right there is the reason why you have so many people that just they hurt people around them, they hurt themselves, and they hurt their productivity because of the fact that they don't see the greatness in what they have. Like, they don't see the amazing beauty in the fact that you are alive right now, right? You are able to be a free person in a country with opportunity to be able to make money, to be able to have freedom of speech, to be able to work, to be able to play, to be able to laugh, to be able to love. You're not getting arranged in marriages. Like, you don't have to deal with wartime every day. You don't have to walk out of your house and worry about you gonna get your brains blown out depending on where you live in this country. Some people do. You don't have to worry about how you're gonna eat. These are things that you can actually switch in your mind and notice, right? And then take your life to the next level, because now you see the growth in everything because you gotten down to the small things, right? You got to be faithful over few. So, in closing, the Light Institute, I created it so that people could be able to, get the light from within them, take that light and shine a light on others. And when you shine a light on others, you allow people to see the inner light within themselves. Exposure is very important in life because you can only become what you've been exposed to. I was exposed to the light very early in life, but I didn't understand that it was a light. I thought I was darkness. I identified myself with the darkness, and the darkness ended up almost taking my life. But my life is not the light. My light will shine even when I'm gone. Our light is our legacy. Living your legacy, be alive.